The story begins in a small, peaceful village nestled in the countryside, where the air is crisp and the days pass by slowly. It is autumn, and the golden leaves of the trees gently fall to the ground, creating a picturesque scene that seems to mirror the passage of time. In this quiet corner of the world, John, a 70-year-old retired schoolteacher, lives with his wife, Emily, in a modest house surrounded by a small but well-kept garden. Their home, though simple, exudes warmth and comfort, a reflection of the life they have built together over the decades. John spends most of his mornings sitting on the wooden bench in their garden, sipping tea and watching the world go by. The garden is Emily's pride and joy, filled with blooming flowers, neatly trimmed hedges, and a small vegetable patch. For Emily, tending to the garden is not just a hobby, but a way to find peace and purpose in her daily life. She often hums old songs as she works, her hands moving skillfully through the soil, while John watches her with quiet admiration. The couple has been married for over 40 years, and their bond is one of deep understanding and companionship. They have shared countless memories, from the joys of raising their children to the challenges of growing older. Now, in their twilight years, they find solace in the simplicity of their routine and the comfort of each other's presence. However, as the seasons change, so too does their perspective on life. John, in particular, has been feeling the weight of time more acutely. His once strong body now tires easily, and his mind often drifts to thoughts of the past and the future. One crisp autumn morning, as John sits in the garden with a blanket draped over his shoulders, he receives a letter from their son, Michael. Michael, who lives in the bustling city, has written to propose a grand celebration for John's upcoming 70th birthday. The idea of a large party, filled with friends and family, initially brings a smile to John's face. However, as he reads further, he begins to feel a sense of unease. The thought of a big, extravagant event feels out of place in the quiet, reflective life he and Emily have embraced. Emily joins him on the bench, holding a cup of tea in her hands. She notices the furrowed brow on John's face and gently asks, "What's on your mind, dear?" John hands her the letter, and as she reads it, a thoughtful silence falls between them. They both know that Michael's intentions are kind, but the idea of a grand celebration seems to clash with the lessons they have learned about aging gracefully and living simply. This moment marks the beginning of John's introspection. He starts to reflect on the choices he has made and the wisdom he has gained over the years. He thinks about the things that truly matter in life and the lessons he wishes to pass on to his children and grandchildren. As the autumn leaves continue to fall, John and Emily embark on a journey of reflection, sharing stories and insights about the things they have learned to avoid in their later years, lessons about clothing, places, and celebrations that have shaped their understanding of what it means to live a meaningful and peaceful life. At the heart of this story are John and Emily, a couple who have spent more than 4 decades together, weathering the storms of life and celebrating its joys. Now in their later years, they embody the quiet strength and wisdom that comes with age, though each carries their own unique perspective on life. John, at 70 years old, is a retired schoolteacher who once dedicated his life to shaping young minds. In his prime, he was known for his calm demeanor, sharp intellect, and ability to inspire his students. He was the kind of teacher who believed in the power of education to change lives, and his passion for learning left a lasting impression on many. However, retirement has brought a slower pace to his life, and with it, a sense of reflection. John is a man who values tradition and simplicity, but he also struggles with the inevitable changes that come with aging. His body, once strong and capable, now tires more easily, and he finds himself grappling with the realization that he can no longer do everything he once could. Despite these challenges, John remains a thoughtful and introspective man. He spends much of his time reading, writing in his journal, and sitting in the garden, where he finds solace in the beauty of nature. He is deeply sentimental, often reminiscing about the past, his childhood, his career, and the years he spent raising his family. Yet, beneath his calm exterior, there is a quiet restlessness. He wonders if he has done enough, if he has lived his life in a way that truly matters, and if he has passed on the right lessons to his children and grandchildren. Emily, at 68, is the perfect complement to John. Where he is introspective and reserved, she is warm and practical. Emily has always been the heart of their home, a woman who finds joy in the small, everyday moments of life. She is a natural nurturer, with a talent for making those around her feel loved and cared for. Her days are often spent tending to their garden, cooking meals from scratch, and knitting blankets for their grandchildren. Emily has a quiet strength about her, a resilience that has carried her through the ups and downs of life. She is the kind of person who sees beauty in the ordinary and finds peace in the present. While Emily shares John's appreciation for simplicity, she approaches aging with a sense of acceptance and grace. She understands that growing older is a natural part of life, and she embraces it with a calm confidence. Emily often serves as a grounding force for John, gently encouraging him to let go of his worries and focus on the things that truly matter. She has a way of bringing him back to the present, reminding him of the joy that can be found in their quiet life together. Together, John and Emily form a partnership built on love, respect, and shared experiences. They have raised a family, faced hardships, and celebrated milestones side by side. Now, in their later years, they find themselves reflecting on the lessons they have learned and the values they want to pass on. Their relationship is a testament to the power of companionship, a reminder that even as the years go by, the bond they share remains as strong as ever. As they sit together in their garden, surrounded by the changing colors of autumn, they prepare to embark on a journey of reflection, one that will bring them closer to understanding what it truly means to live a meaningful and peaceful life. As the days grow shorter and the crisp autumn air fills the village, John finds himself spending more time in quiet reflection. Sitting on the wooden bench in his garden, wrapped in a warm blanket, he watches the golden leaves fall gently to the ground. The changing season seems to mirror his own life, a reminder that time is passing and he is entering the final chapters of his journey. While the beauty of autumn brings him a sense of peace, it also stirs a deep restlessness within him, a feeling he cannot quite shake. John has always been a man of thought, someone who values introspection and learning. But lately, his thoughts have taken on a different tone. He finds himself looking back on his life, replaying memories like an old film. He remembers the days when he was a young teacher, full of energy and ambition, eager to make a difference in the lives of his students. He recalls the joy of raising his children, the laughter that filled their home, and the pride he felt watching them grow into adults. These memories bring him comfort, but they also leave him with a lingering question: have I done enough? This question weighs heavily on John's mind. He wonders if he has lived his life in a way that truly matters. Has he been a good husband to Emily, a good father to Michael, and a good grandfather to Sophia? Has he passed on the right lessons, the values that will guide his family long after he is gone? These thoughts often keep him awake at night, as he lies in bed listening to the soft rustle of leaves outside the window. He knows that time is no longer on his side, and this realization fills him with both urgency and uncertainty. Adding to his unease is the physical reality of aging. John has always been a strong and capable man, someone who took pride in his independence. But now, his body no longer moves with the same ease it once did. His joints ache on cold mornings, and he tires more quickly than he would like to admit. These changes frustrate him, not because he fears growing old, but because they remind him of his limitations. He struggles to accept that there are things he can no longer do, and this struggle often leaves him feeling vulnerable. Despite these challenges, John is not a man who gives in to despair. Deep down, he knows that life is still full of meaning, even in its later stages. He finds comfort in the small, quiet moments of his daily routine, the warmth of Emily's hand in his, the sound of birdsong in the garden, the simple pleasure of a cup of tea on a chilly morning. These moments remind him that life's beauty often lies in its simplicity. However, the letter from Michael about the grand birthday celebration has stirred something new in John. While he appreciates his son's thoughtfulness, the idea of a large, extravagant party feels out of place in the life he and Emily have built. It feels like a distraction from the things that truly matter. This has led John to reflect even more deeply on the choices he has made and the lessons he has learned. He begins to think about the things he wishes he had known earlier in life, the wisdom he has gained through experience, and the values he wants to pass on to his family. As John sits in the garden, watching the leaves fall, he feels a quiet determination growing within him. He decides that it is time to share his thoughts, to put into words the lessons he has learned about living a meaningful and peaceful life. He knows that these lessons about simplicity, acceptance, and the importance of relationships are not just for him, but for his children and grandchildren as well. And so, with Emily by his side, John begins to prepare for a journey of reflection, one that will help him find clarity and peace in the autumn of his life. It was a crisp autumn morning, the kind of day where the air felt fresh and alive, carrying with it the faint scent of fallen leaves. John sat on the wooden bench in the garden, a steaming cup of tea in his hands, his blanket draped over his shoulders. The garden was quiet except for the occasional chirping of birds and the rustling of leaves in the breeze. Emily was nearby, tending to her flowers, humming softly to herself as she worked. It was a peaceful moment, one of those small, ordinary instances that John had come to treasure in his later years. As he sipped his tea, John noticed the sound of footsteps approaching. Emily turned to see the village postman walking up the path to their house, a cheerful smile on his face. "Good morning, Mr. John. Mrs. Emily," he called out, waving a hand. In his other hand, he held a small stack of letters. John stood up slowly, his joints creaking slightly, and walked over to greet the postman. After exchanging a few pleasantries, John took the letters and returned to his bench. He shuffled through the envelopes, most of them bills or advertisements, until his eyes landed on one that stood out. It was a letter from their son, Michael, who lived in the city. The sight of Michael's handwriting brought a smile to John's face. It had been a while since they had last seen their son, and John often missed the days when Michael was still a boy, running around the garden and filling the house with laughter. He opened the envelope carefully, unfolding the letter inside. As John began to read, Emily noticed the change in his expression. His face, which had been calm and content just moments ago, now carried a look of quiet contemplation. "What is it, John?" Emily asked, walking over to sit beside him on the bench. John handed her the letter without a word, his thoughts already beginning to swirl. The letter was warm and thoughtful, filled with updates about Michael's life in the city. But the part that caught John's attention was Michael's proposal. He wanted to organize a grand celebration for John's upcoming 70th birthday. Michael wrote about inviting family and friends, hosting the event at a beautiful venue, and making it a day to remember. He described it as a way to honor John's life and achievements, a chance for everyone to come together and celebrate. Emily finished reading the letter and looked at John, her brow furrowed slightly. "Well, that's quite an idea," she said, her voice gentle. John nodded slowly, his gaze fixed on the garden in front of him. "It is," he replied, though his tone was uncertain. He appreciated Michael's thoughtfulness and the love behind the gesture, but something about the idea didn't sit right with him. The thought of a large, extravagant party felt out of place in the quiet, reflective life he and Emily had built. Over the years, they had come to value simplicity and intimacy, finding joy in the small, meaningful moments rather than grand displays. A big celebration seemed to clash with the lessons John had learned about aging gracefully and living peacefully. It felt like a distraction from the things that truly mattered. Emily, sensing John's hesitation, placed a comforting hand on his arm. "You don't have to decide right away," she said. "Take some time to think about it." John nodded, grateful for her understanding. He folded the letter carefully and set it aside, but the thoughts it had stirred remained with him. That morning, as John sat in the garden, he began to reflect more deeply on his life. The letter from Michael had sparked something within him, a desire to revisit the lessons he had learned over the years and to share them with his family. He realized that this was an opportunity, not just to celebrate his birthday, but to pass on the wisdom he had gained through experience. With Emily by his side, John decided to embark on a journey of reflection, one that would help him find clarity and peace as he prepared for the next chapter of his life. Part 1. 3 types of clothing to avoid. After turning 70 as we age, our priorities and perspectives shift, and this includes how we approach fashion. By the time we reach our 70 seconds, comfort, practicality, and self-expression often take precedence over fleeting trends or societal expectations. Clothing becomes less about impressing others and more about feeling good in our own skin. However, there are certain types of clothing that may no longer serve us well in this stage of life, whether it's due to comfort, practicality, or simply a mismatch with our evolving sense of self. Some wardrobe choices are best left behind. Here are 3 types of clothing to avoid after turning 70, along with thoughtful alternatives that prioritize both style and comfort. 1. Tight, restrictive clothing. One of the first types of clothing to reconsider after 70 is anything that feels tight, restrictive, or uncomfortable. This includes items like skinny jeans, body-hugging dresses, or overly fitted tops. While these pieces may have been staples in earlier years, they can become less practical and more uncomfortable as our bodies change with age. Tight clothing can restrict movement, cause discomfort, and even exacerbate health issues like poor circulation or joint pain. Why avoid it? Comfort. As we age, our bodies naturally change. Skin becomes more sensitive, and we may experience swelling in areas like the ankles or waist. Tight clothing can dig into the skin, causing irritation or discomfort. Mobility, restrictive clothing can make it harder to move freely, which is especially important for maintaining balance and preventing falls. Health concerns, tight waistbands or constrictive fabrics can put pressure on the abdomen, potentially leading to digestive discomfort or other issues. Alternatives: instead of tight, restrictive clothing, opt for pieces that offer a relaxed fit without sacrificing style. Look for elastic waistbands, pants or skirts. With elastic waistbands provide flexibility and comfort while still looking polished. Flowy dresses and tunics. These allow for ease of movement and can be dressed up or down depending on the occasion. Stretch fabrics. Choose clothing made from materials with a bit of stretch, like jersey or knit fabrics, which adapt to your body and provide all-day comfort. For example, a pair of tailored trousers with an elastic waistband can look just as chic as skinny jeans but feel infinitely more comfortable. Similarly, a loose-fitting tunic paired with leggings or soft trousers can create a stylish yet practical outfit. 2. Overly trendy or youth-oriented styles. Another category of clothing to avoid is overly trendy or youth-oriented styles that don't align with your personal sense of self. This doesn't mean you can't enjoy fashion or experiment with new looks, but chasing every new trend can sometimes feel forced or out of place. Items like crop tops, ultra-short skirts, or flashy, logo-covered pieces may no longer reflect the elegance and confidence that come with age. Why avoid it? Authenticity. Dressing in a way that feels authentic to who you are is far more important than keeping up with trends. Overly trendy pieces can sometimes feel like they're trying too hard to recapture youth, rather than celebrating the wisdom and grace of age. Practicality. Many trendy items are designed with younger audiences in mind and may not prioritize comfort, durability, or functionality. Timelessness. Investing in classic, high-quality pieces often provides more value and versatility than chasing fleeting trends. Alternatives. Instead of following every trend, focus on building a wardrobe of timeless, versatile pieces that reflect your personal style. Consider classic silhouettes, aligned skirts, tailored blazers, and well-fitted trousers never go out of style and can be paired with a variety of tops and accessories. Neutral colors, neutral tones like navy, beige, gray, and black create a sophisticated look and can be easily mixed and matched. Statement accessories. If you want to incorporate trends, do so through accessories like scarves, jewelry, or handbags. These can add a modern touch without overwhelming your outfit. For instance, a well-tailored trench coat or a cashmere sweater can exude timeless elegance while keeping you comfortable and warm. Pair these with a statement necklace or a colorful scarf to add personality and flair. 3. Worn out or poor quality clothing. As we age, it becomes increasingly important to prioritize quality over quantity in our wardrobe. Worn out, faded, or poorly made clothing can detract from your overall appearance and may not provide the comfort or durability you need. Items like stretched-out t-shirts, pilled sweaters, or shoes with worn soles should be retired in favor of better quality alternatives. Why avoid it? Appearance. Worn-out clothing can make you look less put together, even if the rest of your outfit is well chosen. Comfort and support. Poor quality fabrics can irritate the skin, while worn-out shoes may lack the support needed for healthy feet and joints. Longevity. Investing in high-quality pieces ensures that your wardrobe lasts longer and looks better over time. Alternatives, instead of holding on to worn-out or low-quality items, focus on curating a wardrobe of durable, well-made pieces that stand the test of time. Look for natural fabrics. Materials like cotton, wool, and linen are breathable, comfortable, and long-lasting. Supportive footwear. Invest in shoes that provide proper arch support and cushioning, especially if you spend a lot of time on your feet. Tailored basics. High-quality basics like a crisp white shirt, a well-fitted pair of trousers, or a classic cardigan can form the foundation of a versatile wardrobe. For example, replace an old, stretched-out sweater with a soft cashmere or merino wool option. Swap worn-out sneakers for a pair of stylish yet supportive loafers or walking shoes. These small upgrades can make a big difference in how you look and feel. Turning 70 is a milestone that brings with it a wealth of wisdom, experience, and a deeper understanding of what truly matters in life. Your wardrobe should reflect this stage of life, prioritizing comfort, practicality, and authenticity over fleeting trends or outdated habits. By avoiding tight, restrictive clothing, overly trendy styles, and worn-out or poor-quality items, you can create a wardrobe that not only looks great, but also feels good to wear. Fashion after 70 is not about following rules or conforming to societal expectations. It's about embracing your individuality and dressing in a way that makes you feel confident and comfortable. By focusing on timeless, high-quality pieces and incorporating personal touches through accessories or colors, you can create a style that celebrates who you are and the life you've lived. After all, true elegance is not about what you wear, but how you carry yourself, and that is something that only grows stronger with age. Part 2. 3 places to avoid after turning 70 as we age. Our priorities, physical capabilities, and preferences naturally evolve. By the time we reach our 70 seconds, we often find ourselves valuing comfort, safety, and meaningful experiences over the hustle and bustle of certain environments. While age should never be a barrier to exploring the world or enjoying life, there are some places that may no longer align with the needs and desires of those in their later years. Whether it's due to physical challenges, safety concerns, or simply a lack of enjoyment, here are 3 types of places to avoid after turning 70, along with thoughtful alternatives that can provide equally fulfilling experiences. 1. Crowded and noisy environments. One of the first types of places to reconsider after 70 is any environment that is excessively crowded or noisy, such as large concerts, packed nightclubs, or bustling city centers during peak hours. While these places may have been exciting or enjoyable in earlier years, they can become overwhelming or even hazardous as we age. Why avoid it? Physical strain. Crowded environments often require standing for long periods, navigating through tight spaces, or walking long distances, which can be physically taxing. Safety concerns. Large crowds increase the risk of accidents, such as tripping, falling, or being jostled. For those with mobility issues or balance concerns, this can be particularly dangerous. Sensory overload, loud noises, bright lights, and chaotic surroundings can be overstimulating and uncomfortable, especially for those who prefer a more peaceful atmosphere. Alternatives. Instead of crowded and noisy environments, consider quieter, more relaxed settings that still offer entertainment and social interaction. For example, small concerts or performances. Opt for intimate venues where you can enjoy live music or theater without the overwhelming crowds. Parks and gardens. Spend time in nature, where you can enjoy fresh air, beautiful scenery, and a sense of tranquility. Local cafes or libraries. These spaces provide a calm environment for socializing, reading, or simply enjoying a cup of tea. For instance, instead of attending a massive music festival, you might enjoy a classical music performance at a local community center or a jazz night at a cozy cafe. These alternatives allow you to engage with culture and entertainment in a way that feels comfortable and enjoyable. 2. Physically demanding destinations. Another category of places to avoid after 70 includes destinations that require significant physical exertion or pose a risk to your health and safety. This might include extreme hiking trails, high-altitude locations, or adventure parks with activities like zip lining or rock climbing. While staying active is important at any age, it's equally important to recognize your body's limits and avoid activities that could lead to injury or exhaustion. Why avoid it? Health risks. High-altitude destinations can cause issues like shortness of breath or altitude sickness, while physically demanding activities increase the risk of falls or injuries. Energy levels. Activities that require intense physical effort may leave you feeling overly fatigued, detracting from the overall enjoyment of the experience. Accessibility. Many physically demanding destinations lack the infrastructure to accommodate those with mobility challenges, making them less practical or enjoyable. Alternatives. Instead of physically demanding destinations, choose places that offer beauty and adventure without requiring extreme exertion. Consider scenic drives. Explore breathtaking landscapes from the comfort of your car, stopping at viewpoints or picnic spots along the way. Accessible nature trails. Many parks and reserves offer flat, well-maintained trails that are suitable for all fitness levels. Cruises or riverboat tours. These provide a relaxing way to see the world, with minimal physical effort required. For example, instead of attempting a strenuous hike in the mountains, you might enjoy a leisurely stroll through a botanical garden or a guided tour of a national park. These options allow you to connect with nature and explore new places while prioritizing your comfort and safety. 3. Unsafe or unfamiliar locations. The third type of place to avoid after 70 is any location that feels unsafe or unfamiliar, particularly if it lacks the necessary infrastructure to support your needs. This might include remote areas with limited medical facilities, regions with high crime rates, or destinations where language barriers or cultural differences make navigation and communication difficult. While adventure and exploration are wonderful at any age, it's important to prioritize safety and ensure that your chosen destination aligns with your comfort level. Why avoid it? Health and safety. Remote or underdeveloped areas may lack access to medical care, clean water, or reliable transportation, which can be risky for older travelers. Stress and anxiety. Navigating unfamiliar environments can be stressful, especially if there are language barriers or cultural differences that make communication challenging. Travel fatigue. Long journeys to remote locations can be exhausting, particularly if they involve multiple modes of transportation or extended layovers. Alternatives. Instead of venturing into unsafe or unfamiliar locations, focus on destinations that are well equipped to meet your needs and provide a sense of security. Consider well-developed cities. Choose cities with good infrastructure, reliable public transportation, and access to medical facilities. Guided tours. Join a guided tour or group travel program, which can provide support and ensure a smooth, stress-free experience. Staycations or local getaways. Explore nearby attractions or book a stay at a comfortable resort or bed and breakfast in your region. For instance, instead of traveling to a remote jungle or desert, you might enjoy a trip to a historic city with plenty of museums, restaurants, and cultural landmarks. Alternatively, a relaxing beach vacation at a well-equipped resort can provide the perfect balance of adventure and comfort. Turning 70 is a time to embrace the things that bring you joy, comfort, and fulfillment, while letting go of environments or experiences that no longer serve you. Avoiding crowded and noisy environments, physically demanding destinations, and unsafe or unfamiliar locations doesn't mean limiting your life. It means making thoughtful choices that align with your needs and priorities. By focusing on places that offer relaxation, accessibility, and meaningful experiences, you can continue to explore the world and create lasting memories. Whether it's a quiet afternoon in a local park, a scenic drive through the countryside, or a guided tour of a historic city, there are countless ways to enjoy life's adventures while prioritizing your well-being. After all, the best destinations are those that allow you to feel truly present, connected, and at peace with yourself and the world around you. Part 3. 3 types of parties to avoid after turning 70. Reaching the age of 70 is a milestone worth celebrating. It's a time to reflect on the life you've lived, the relationships you've built, and the memories you've created. However, as we age, our preferences and priorities often shift, and the types of celebrations that once felt exciting or appropriate may no longer align with our values or comfort levels. While parties are a wonderful way to bring people together, certain types of gatherings may not be as enjoyable or practical after turning 70. Here are 3 types of parties to avoid, along with thoughtful alternatives that can make your celebrations more meaningful and enjoyable. 1. Large, extravagant parties. One of the first types of parties to reconsider after 70 is the large, extravagant celebration. These events often involve hundreds of guests, elaborate decorations, and a packed schedule of activities. While such parties can be impressive, they can also be overwhelming, expensive, and physically exhausting for both the host and the attendees. Why avoid it? Overwhelming atmosphere. Large parties can be noisy and chaotic, making it difficult to connect with guests on a personal level. Physical strain. Hosting or attending a large event often requires standing for long periods, moving around frequently, and managing a variety of tasks, which can be tiring. Financial burden. Extravagant parties can be costly, and spending a significant amount of money on a single event may not feel worthwhile at this stage of life. Alternatives. Instead of a large, extravagant party, consider hosting a smaller, more intimate gathering that allows for meaningful connections and a relaxed atmosphere. For example, family-only celebrations. Invite close family members for a cozy dinner or brunch at home, where you can share stories and enjoy each other's company. Garden party. If you have a garden or outdoor space, host a simple gathering with light refreshments and comfortable seating. Milestone reflection event. Organize a small event where loved ones can share memories, photos, or stories about your life, creating a meaningful and heartfelt celebration. For instance, instead of renting a large banquet hall, you might host a dinner party with your closest friends and family, complete with homemade food and a warm personal atmosphere. This type of celebration allows you to focus on the people who matter most without the stress of managing a large crowd. 2. Late night or high-energy parties. Another type of party to avoid after 70 is the late night or high-energy event, such as a dance party, nightclub gathering, or any celebration that extends into the early hours of the morning. While these types of parties can be fun, they may no longer align with your energy levels or preferences for how you spend your time. Why avoid it? Energy levels. Staying up late or engaging in high-energy activities can be physically draining, especially if you're not accustomed to such events. Noise and overstimulation, loud music, bright lights, and a fast-paced environment can be overwhelming and detract from the enjoyment of the event. Health considerations. Late-night parties can disrupt your sleep schedule, which is especially important to maintain as you age. Alternatives. Instead of a late-night or high-energy party, consider hosting a daytime or early evening event that allows you to celebrate in a more relaxed and enjoyable way. For example, afternoon tea party. Gather friends and family for tea, coffee, and light snacks in a calm and elegant setting. Sunset dinner. Host a dinner party that begins in the early evening and wraps up before it gets too late, allowing everyone to enjoy the celebration without feeling rushed or tired. Cultural or artistic event. Plan a visit to a museum, art gallery, or theater performance as part of your celebration, followed by a quiet dinner with loved ones. For example, instead of a late-night dance party, you might enjoy a sunset gathering with soft music, good food, and meaningful conversations. This type of event allows you to celebrate in a way that feels natural and comfortable. 3. Overly formal or rigid events. The third type of party to avoid after 70 is the overly formal or rigid event, such as a black tie gala or a highly structured dinner with strict seating arrangements and a packed itinerary. While these types of events can be elegant, they may feel restrictive or impersonal, especially if you prefer a more relaxed and casual atmosphere. Why avoid it? Pressure to conform. Formal events often come with expectations around dress codes, behavior, and etiquette, which can feel unnecessary or stressful. Lack of personal connection. Highly structured events can make it difficult to relax and enjoy meaningful interactions with guests. Time and effort. Planning or attending a formal event often requires significant preparation, which may not feel worthwhile or enjoyable. Alternatives. Instead of an overly formal or rigid event, consider hosting a casual and flexible gathering that allows everyone to feel at ease. For example, potluck dinner. Invite guests to bring a dish to share, creating a relaxed and collaborative atmosphere where everyone contributes. Game night. Host a game night with board games, card games, or trivia, encouraging laughter and interaction among guests. Picnic or barbecue. Plan an outdoor picnic or barbecue, where guests can enjoy good food and conversation in a laid-back setting. For instance, instead of a black tie gala, you might host a casual barbecue in your backyard, complete with simple decorations, delicious food, and plenty of time to chat and connect with your guests. This type of celebration allows you to focus on what truly matters, spending quality time with the people you care about. After turning 70, the way we celebrate life's milestones often shifts to reflect our changing priorities and values. While large, extravagant parties, late-night events, and overly formal gatherings may no longer feel enjoyable or practical, there are countless ways to celebrate in a way that feels authentic and meaningful. By focusing on smaller, more intimate gatherings, daytime or early evening events, and casual, flexible celebrations, you can create parties that prioritize connection, comfort, and joy. The key to a successful celebration at any age is to stay true to yourself and your preferences. Whether it's a quiet dinner with family, a garden party with close friends, or a simple afternoon tea, the best parties are those that allow you to feel relaxed, appreciated, and surrounded by love. After all, the purpose of any celebration is not the size or extravagance of the event, but the memories and connections it creates. Reaching the age of 70 is a profound milestone, one that marks not just the passage of time, but the accumulation of wisdom, experiences, and relationships that have shaped a lifetime. It is a time to reflect on the journey you've traveled, to celebrate the person you've become, and to embrace the years ahead with grace and gratitude. As we've explored the types of clothing, places, and parties to avoid after 70, the underlying message is not about limitations, but about making choices that align with your values, comfort, and well-being. This stage of life is not about giving up on joy or adventure. It's about redefining them in ways that feel authentic and meaningful. One of the most beautiful aspects of aging is the clarity it brings. By the time we reach our 70 seconds, we often have a deeper understanding of what truly matters in life. The superficial concerns that may have preoccupied us in our younger years, keeping up with trends, impressing others, or chasing fleeting pleasures, begin to fade away. In their place, we find a renewed appreciation for simplicity, authenticity, and the connections that bring us joy. This is a time to let go of anything that no longer serves you, whether it's uncomfortable clothing, overwhelming environments, or celebrations that feel more like obligations than sources of happiness. Instead, focus on the things that bring you peace and fulfillment. Choose clothing that makes you feel comfortable and confident. Spend time in places that inspire and rejuvenate you. Celebrate life's milestones in ways that reflect your values and allow you to connect deeply with the people you love. At its core, life is about relationships. The people we surround ourselves with, family, friends, and loved ones, are what give life its richness and meaning. As we age, these connections become even more precious. The laughter shared over a simple meal, the quiet moments of understanding, the stories passed down from one generation to the next, these are the moments that truly matter. When planning celebrations or gatherings, remember that the size or extravagance of the event is far less important than the quality of the connections it fosters. A small, intimate dinner with your closest loved ones can be far more meaningful than a grand party filled with acquaintances. A heartfelt conversation with a dear friend can leave a deeper impression than any elaborate event. By focusing on connection, you can create memories that will be cherished for years to come. Turning 70 is not just about celebrating a single day. It's about honoring the journey that brought you here. It's about recognizing the challenges you've overcome, the lessons you've learned, and the legacy you've built. It's a time to look back with pride and gratitude, and to look forward with hope and excitement for the years to come. Take a moment to reflect on the life you've lived so far. Think about the people who have shaped your journey, the moments that have defined you, and the values that guide you. Celebrate the person you've become, not in a way that seeks validation from others, but in a way that honors your own unique story. As you move forward into this new chapter of life, remember that age is not a limitation, it's a privilege. Every year, every wrinkle, every gray hair is a testament to the life you've lived, and the experiences you've gathered. Embrace this stage of life with the same curiosity and courage that carried you through your younger years. Continue to seek out new experiences, nurture your passions, and cherish the relationships that bring you joy. Let go of the pressure to conform to societal expectations or to live up to anyone else's idea of what life after 70 should look like. Instead, focus on what feels right for you, whether it's spending more time with family, traveling to places you've always dreamed of, or simply enjoying the quiet beauty of everyday life. Make choices that reflect your own values and desires. As we age, one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves is the practice of gratitude. Take time each day to appreciate the blessings in your life, the people who love you, the moments of joy and laughter, the beauty of the world around you. Gratitude has a way of transforming even the simplest experiences into something extraordinary. And finally, remember that love is the most enduring legacy we leave behind. The love you've given to others, the kindness you've shown, and the relationships you've nurtured are what truly matter. These are the things that will be remembered long after the parties are over and the years have passed. So, as you celebrate this milestone and look ahead to the future, do so with a heart full of gratitude, a spirit of curiosity, and a deep appreciation for the life you've lived. Turning 70 is not the end of the journey. It's a new beginning, a chance to continue growing, learning, and loving in ways that are uniquely your own. Here's to the years ahead. May they be filled with peace, joy, and the kind of moments that make life truly beautiful. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Your support means the world to me, and I truly appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Whether you're a long-time follower or just stumbled upon this video, your presence and engagement are what keep me motivated to create meaningful content. If you found this video helpful, inspiring, or entertaining, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us grow and reach more amazing people like you. And of course, I'd love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to leave a comment below. Your feedback and ideas are always welcome. Once again, thank you for being part of this journey. Stay safe, stay positive, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.